Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. My name is Cristina Revalo. I'm a sugar paste modeling artist, a teacher, a coach for cake artists, Cake Friends Day creative community manager, award winning cake decorator, and representative of international cake competitions. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are a cake artist, a cake enthusiast, or a baker who is seeking some help, in anything related to your time management, social media management, setting your goals for yourself or your business, your mindset towards your business, or even a few hints of how to be part of the international cake community, cake collaboration, and cake competitions, you are in the right place. So, welcome to today's episode. Hello, my sweet friends, and welcome to another episode of the Art K Coach podcast. Christina here. Welcome to today's episode. So happy to have you back. So happy with all the feedbacks and the outcome of this last couple of episodes on the RK Coach podcast, and so many new so many new listeners here, people who have given me their feedback. So thank you so much for your support, and I just hope to keep giving you interesting content and content that is relevant for my community of cake artists and cake decorators. So, welcome to another episode. Today is it's an episode about a topic that I've been discussing or talking about a lot with some colleagues, friends, even my family, my husband, and we have been discussing what is the key of success? Is it talent or is it consistency? So, I'm going to give you my humble opinion about this and about my 15-year I don't know, I'm not going to say career, but yes, my 15-year career as a cake decorator and now as a cake artist and as a coach, and what has worked for me, either one or the other or both. We'll see. So stay tuned and let me invite you to listen to today's episode. My sweet, sweet friend, if you like this episode, if you love this podcast, I will kindly ask you to leave me a started review, whatever you're listening to this episode that is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and I think a couple of other ones. But in any of those, just leave me a review, leave me a couple of stars or 5 stars if you like it. So people will find this episode, the algorithm would put it out there, and more of our K community will benefit from it. Share it with your friends. Download the episode and share them. Share them on your social media and tag me because I will answer you back. Of course, I will. And send me comments, send me your review, send me your feedback. Even if you don't agree with anything that I say, I would love to hear your opinion. You can find me in any of my social media accounts. I will be leaving the links here on this episode description. I'm on Facebook as the Art Cake Experience. I am on Instagram at Christina underscore the Art Cake Experience, or you can even find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, the Art Cake Experience channel. So thank you so much for listening, and please leave me your review and leave me your comments and your feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say about any of these episodes. Okay, so talent versus consistency. We know that talent is something that you're born with, that you come with a certain aspect that gives you a head start on a skill or on a technique or something that comes with you. You were born with that. There's people who's talented for sports. There's people who's talented for art. There's people who's talented for singing. But I had this discussion before, even with my husband, because he's a big sports fan, and he always refers to sports or either sports or music when he talks with me for his analogies. So, is it just talent, or is it the hard work that you put into cultivate and grow that talent, which means consistency, that sets you apart from the rest? One of the goals of the RK Coach the Arcade Coach in general, the Arcade Experience, and the Arcade Coach podcast for my fellow cake artists is to give them an opportunity to be themselves and to stand out from the crowd. There's a lot of cake artists out there. There's a lot of cake decorators, cake enthusiasts, bakers, home bakers, professional bakers, pastry chefs. I mean, you name it. However, the other day we were in a party and I was talking to my niece, and somebody says, "Oh, my son is a French pastry chef." And my mother-in-law, bless her heart, she's like, "Oh, and my my daughter-in-law she also bakes cakes." It's like, wait, this is like saying that I don't know. Mechanical engineer is the same as a chemical engineer. Now, they're both engineers, but they're not the same. So again, I'm not a pastry chef. I will never dream to be a pastry chef. I'm not trained for that. I always let's say I'm always presenting myself as a cake decorator. I started using the term cake artist recently because now I can say that my artistry is there. And so yeah, there are many talents that people is born with. I don't want to get too away from the topic. I don't even know why I was talking about this, but yes, people are born with certain talents. And one of the ideas behind this podcast and the coaching business is to help all of these people with their different skills, with their different techniques, with their different niches. Because, like I said, not everybody's a pastry chef, not everybody is a cake decorator or a cake artist, but you can stand up for something that you do and only you do. And that's one of my goals, either in my groups, in my coaching sessions, group coaching, here in the podcast, how to help you in the other side find that talent and shine with that specific superpower that you have. So yes, talent is, let's say, a superpower that you're born with. I'm a very artistic person, crafty person. I like everything related to arts and crafts. So that part comes easy for me. What I really had to do was to learn the techniques of how to apply it to edible mediums. Um, I've always joked that it's easier to teach an artist how to decorate cakes than a baker how to decorate cakes, because a baker knows the baking, the structure, the dough, the ingredients. They know that, but not necessarily the artistic part. However, for the artist, may be easier to learn how to bake cakes. I'm not saying that it's going to be as good as the baker, but or yes, we don't know, but it's easier for them to learn the artistic part of the decorating of the cake than for just a baker or pastry chef to become an artist on what they do. So yeah, the talent has to be there. So today's episode, like I said, is called Consistency versus Talent. And of course, the main goal is success. So is it just talent what gives you success? Is that it? I'm going to give you my opinion at the end of the episode, but I would love to hear yours. Remember, you can always leave me a comment in any of my social media platforms where I share this episode, either on my Instagram or on my Facebook. I mean, you can leave me a comment because I love to hear what you have to say about this. So, is it just talent? Well, if you have a talent, you can definitely make it grow. You can definitely cultivate it and make it even bigger and, let's say, more powerful in order for that to be your presentation, your business card. I'm talented at this is what I do. Okay, good, you're there, perfect. What happens then? Do people really, it's like, okay, I bake, let's say I'm a sugar flower artist and I make beautiful flowers and I have this gorgeous talent and I make these flowers and I put them in a cake, or take a couple pictures that are on my phone. Okay. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to showcase it to the world? Are you going to promote your work? Are you going to keep showing everyone what you do? Are you going to teach what you do? Are you going to improve your skill? So, is it just talent, or do you really have to be consistent on everything, because it's not just consistent on doing the skill or practicing the skill, is consistent on showing everybody what you do, getting better at what you do, improving, teaching, sharing, showcasing, promoting, being out there. Otherwise, people's not going to know who you are. Not at all. So you have to also work consistently in order to create that, let's say, that superhero on what you do, to create that persona, to create that artist that people will see and will admire and will look up to and will want to learn from. So we are born with a talent, but we can definitely grow the talent. Next question is, okay, Christina, what's my talent? Do I even have one? I think we all do. Honestly, deep in my heart, I do believe that we all do have a talent. And if you're listening to this, it's very, very likely that you are a cake artist, a cake decorator, a baker, or a cake enthusiast that is in the other side listening to me. So you might have, if you're doing this, if this is something that you love to do, if baking or cake decorating is something that fulfills you, I'm sure there's a talent involved, because we don't do things that we love because we have to. We do it because we love it. And if we love it, it's because we feel comfortable in it. And if you're comfortable doing it, that means you must have a talent. Now, the first step is to determine what is your superpower. I keep talking about this when we talk about setting our niche for working, because we are going to serve the people that is going to look for us because of a specific thing. I don't know if you remember the episode with Anna Stashkina. I keep referring to that episode because it was amazing. In her episode, she mentioned that she narrowed her talent, let's say. Well, she didn't mention it like that, but she mentioned like she is known for wafer paper. And that's her niche. People relate wafer paper to her. That is the medium that she felt comfortable working with. She discovered she had a talent for it, she cultivated it, and she was consistent, and she keeps being consistent with it. So, the first thing that you need to determine is, what's your talent? What is your superpower? I always joke with my cake friends, and I think it was before the pandemic, when everything changed after the pandemic, of course. But before the pandemic, you want to do it all. Me, myself, I'm talking about me. I wanted to do it all. Cupcakes, cookies, gelatin, cake decoration, buttercream, sugar paste modeling. And I try so hard to do so many things at the same time that I wasn't shining on something specific. When I start just working on the gelatins, I guess it's because nobody else was doing it, at least here in Portugal, where I taught gelatin. I shine on it because that was a talent that I had, and I cultivated it, and it worked. Then I started participating on cake collaborations, mainly with sugar paste modeling, because it's what I love to do. I don't do wedding cakes. I eventually do it if somebody asks me, but it's not my cup of tea. I don't do sugar paste flowers or sugar flowers. Royalizing cookies. God bless people who does it, not me. Royalizing and me, we don't get along. So I determined like my superpower is sugar paste modeling and gelatin. So that's what I'm going to stick too, and that's what I'm going to practice the most. And the difference of the modeling that I used to do, I'm not going to say 15 years ago, I'm going to say 4 years ago, 3 years ago to today, it's, I mean, amazing. It's so different. It has improved so much. It still have room for improvement, but why? Because I dedicate myself to that. I determine that is my superpower. That is what I'm going to do. So the first thing you need to do is to sit down and think, what is my superpower? What is that thing that I'm really, really good at? And in the world of cake decoration, there's so many techniques. There's so many ways to decorate a cake, especially nowadays. There's so many aspects of the business that you can thrive on. Maybe you realize that you're good at, I don't know, a marketing business, baking business for people. Okay, so I can help people with that. So determine your superpower. What are you good at? And then success will come from how consistent you are, either using that superpower, practicing, improving it, showcasing it to the world. People need to know that you do that. People need to know. I mean, that mentality of, I'm going to say Hollywood movies, in this Hollywood dream movie, that you're just walking down the street, or you're just, um, in this case, because you're a cake decorator or a cake artist, you place a cake into a venue, and everybody's like, whoa, that's the best cake I've ever seen. And somebody in that crowd comes from, I don't know, a big company. They want to hire you to make their cakes for the entire year, and you're selling. I mean, that's Hollywood, my love. That's like, yeah, it could happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to knock on that doors, on those doors. You have to, because it's not just one, there are many doors to knock on, believe me. You have to take action. You have to move. You have to, um, get out there and show what you do, how you do it, what you can do, what you're capable of. People do not buy your cakes just because they're beautiful and tasty. They buy a piece of you. They want to have something from you when they get to know you, when you tell them a story behind that cake, when you show them who you are. So, putting yourself out there and being consistent on whatever you decide to do. For example, I'm going to give you an example. I'm very consistent on social media. Very, very consistent. And that has been the key of my success in many aspects, with either Cake Friends Stay Creative, with my coaching groups, with my Instagram, Facebook. I'm very, very consistent on social media. And the amount of success I've had until today because of that, and I'm not talking about followers, I'm not talking about direct sales, I'm talking about opportunities, jobs, career opportunities, networking. So many things have come from that consistency, and especially because people know they can trust me. I had a comment the other day in one of my groups saying, wow, how you do it. You're really, I mean, you deliver what you promise. Like, yeah, that's what I do. If I say I'm going to be here every Tuesday with a podcast, I'm going to be here every Tuesday with a podcast. It's going to happen, and people are going to keep listening. Maybe you're going to get tired of me, but you're going to know that you are going to know that every Tuesday I'm here. In my coaching groups, in my social media, I'm the same. In the Cake Friends Stay Creative, every single Monday there is a challenge. Every single Wednesday, we share our social media. Every single Friday is Business Friday, no matter what. So people know, maybe they don't see it every week, maybe they don't participate every week, but they know it's there, and they know they can rely on me to be there. And that tells a lot to a person, from to a future client. That tells them, I can trust this person. This person is really reliable. I know it's going to be there. And people are, you're so consistent that people know what you do. People say, oh, Christina, the groups, yes, she's there. I know, we can trust her. We can ask her to, I don't know, to present for herself. We can ask her to promote a product. We can ask her to do this because she's going to be consistent. So all of these job opportunities and all of these career opportunities have come from just the fact of being consistent. So let's recap. You have to determine first your superpower. What are you good at? And then remember, success comes from being consistent. It is funny because I could really do a whole episode on consistency and just consistency, just that, because I mean, you have no idea how that has changed my life. And I guess it could happen in any aspect of your life. If you're consistent on a diet, you're going to lose weight. If you're consistent on exercises, you're going to have a great a great shape, and you're going to have this sculptural body. If you're consistent on meditating, you're going to be calmer, and you're going to face life in a better way. Anything you're consistent on, you will thrive for sure. You will succeed. So why do we keep asking ourselves if consistency is important? Of course it is. It's the key of everything. If you study hard every day, you're going to pass that test. So be consistent. Success comes from consistency. I was listening this morning. I do listen to other podcasts mostly every day. When I go for my morning walk, I was listening to a podcast this morning from uh, the Mindset Mentor. I recommend him. He's really good, and he's very down to earth, and he really helps us get into the right mindset. Very down to earth, very simple, very short episodes, but it gives you fuel for the rest of the day. And he was mentioning about being the driver. He was putting actually an airplane example, that you're just on an airplane sitting down enjoying your drink instead, and you hopefully pray to arrive in your destination, but you don't know the destination. So life is a little bit like that. Is I'm going to change it to the driver of your own life. You can sit down on a taxi and maybe said to the taxi driver, I want to get to this place, and you just sit down, relax, maybe fall asleep or what, or check on your phone, and don't pay attention to where you're going, how you're going. What could happen? That taxi driver could drive you around the city for hours because you don't know, and charge you more for it because you don't know exactly how to get to the destination, but you will get there eventually. Yes. So I thought of that example when I was listening to his podcast. How many of us have been deceived by taxi drivers before, in cities that we don't know? So are you going to let that happen with your life, or are you going to take action and be the driver of your life and say, no, I want to get there and have a plan to get there. And I'm going to do this in a way that is more efficient, less time consuming, cheaper for me, like a taxi. I mean, we thought we can think about that in the example of a taxi. So why cannot think about that with example of our own life and our own success as cake artists? Again, this podcast is for my cake artists, for my community. So I'm always going to refer my examples to you guys. So be the driver of your own talent, of your own life. It's like, I have this talent. Where do I want to get with this talent? I want to get, I don't know, I keep saying this example because we were just a couple of weeks ago in Cake International. Next year, I want to win a gold medal on Cake International with my sugar flowers, for example. Not me, I don't do sugar flowers. But let's say this is your example. Okay, so if you're going to be the driver of your success, of your car, of your life, or if your taxi, you sit down and say, well, what is the best road to take? Well, I have talents for sugar flowers, but I have to improve in this and this and that. You know the techniques. We always know what we need to improve on. And then I have to set a date to start working. I have to find my inspiration. I have to buy the materials. I mean, you do the work on setting all the steps to get to your destination the best way possible, less expenses, less time, and in a more successful way. So we should do this with not only winning a gold medal in Cake International, we should do this with everything in our business. And the first step to do this, again, we're going to go back a little bit. We've been talking about success through consistency or talent. I think honestly it's a mixture of both. You do have talents that you can grow and then be consistent with them in order to uh, get to be successful. Yes, you have to take action and be the driver of your own success and your own life. I just put the example of the taxi. Yes, but like I said, I just mentioned it. It was supposed to be a surprise. Ta-da! But no, I just mentioned take action. You need to take action. We are not going to get any better by just talking about it, complaining about it, just sitting in our couch or, you know, comparing ourselves to others or dreaming about it. We need to take action in order to do things. To be consistent is to take action every single day, no matter what. You have a list of things that you have to do in order to make this happen, and you're going to do it. If you feel tired, if you feel overwhelmed, depressed, I don't know, happy, or whatever you feel, you're going to keep doing it. No, you're not going to think about it. You're just going to do it. I'm going to give you the example again of Cake Friends Stay Creative. We started with 37 members. Today, we are almost 8,000. I think we're over 8,000. I'm not sure. And just 2 years ago, it's going to be three next year. How? Consistency. I Every month I sit down in front of my computer for about, I don't know, half an hour, and I organize all the posts, all of the things that are going to show up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the group, so people know there I'm there, that they can count on me. I take action. I mean, there's some days that I don't feel like it. There are other days that I'm like very excited about it, but I still do it no matter what, because I want results. I want the group to be there, to keep growing, and to be the support that has been for the community every during this past 3 years. And I do the same with all my social media, my groups, my classes, my coaching, with everything. I sit down and I do it no matter what. So take action. Now, let's think about some ideas of how to take actions in order to be successful in your business. Because at the end of the day, what do we want to do? At the end of the day, we want to sell our product. Of course, we want to win medals at Cake International. Of course, we want people to know who we are. Of course, we want to be a household name in the cake industry. Yes, we do that, but we need to pay our bills and we do want to make money, right? This is business. Our business mind has to be, our business hat is has to be on. Remember again the Anna Stashkina episode when she mentioned about, I'm on the business of making money through cake decoration. So we all have to pay our bills. We all have to make money, and we all deserve. This is very important because it's not just about paying money or gaining money or paying bills. It's about we deserve retribution for what we do, because it's our talent. We've been talking about talent. Is our talent, is ourselves on those cakes and those cookies or those flowers, whatever it is that you do. So you do deserve to be paid and to be retributed for what you do. Put that in your head, guys. This is going to be a takeaway from this year, and it's going to be my mantra for next year, for everyone, me and you, for everyone. So we need to take actions in order to make that success, not only, like I said, not only to become a household name, but to be retributed for what we do. So here are some ideas that you can work on in order to take action and make yourself successful with your talent. So here are some ideas of how to take action to success, either at selling your product or becoming a household name, or whatever goal you put in as your final destination when you take the seat of that driver, of that car that you're driving, or that taxi, according to the example I gave you before. So first one, referrals. Referrals are essential, or are very, let's say, very productive when you are selling a product, for example. So always ask your customers to give you referrals for your product. So if you're happy with my cookies, if you love the cake, if you like this episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast, do something, take action, talk about it, share it. I don't know, recommend it. So referrals are the key of one of the keys of success. It has been the key of success of my caking business for 15 years. I never spent too much on publicity. I was never on TV. I was never, given big uh I don't know, paying for paid ads on platforms. No, it was mainly referrals, and it really works. And this is applicable for anything. You can ask for referrals, like I said, for your cakes, for your cookies, for your teaching, for this podcast. You love this podcast? Share it, talk to your friends about it, and give me a starter review or give me your feedback. And I would love to have that, because that way I know what I'm doing is getting to the other side. So that's a referral. There you go. So it is as applicable, is it the correct word? Applicable? I don't know. It's valid. Let's say it's valid for anything. Referrals. Reach out to your people. That's the second part of taking action. Many of us, and I have to say at the beginning, I was not anymore, not afraid of anything. Well, I am, but not of this anymore. Um, Reach out to your family, to your friends. Tell them what you're doing. I'm baking cakes. And first of all, I'm baking cakes and I'm not giving them for free. You need to pay for the cakes if you're going to ask me for a cake. We can do another episode about family and friends who want cakes for free, but not today. Reach out to your friends and your people. Tell them about your business. Tell them about what you're doing. Tell them about your projects. Like, I'm going to win a gold medal at Cake International next year, so I need your help. I don't know, babysitting my kids for a while because I need to work on my flowers. Whatever. Reach out to your family and to your people. Tell them what you're doing. My family cannot listen to me anymore about this podcast, but I'm so proud of it that I'm going to keep talking about it. There's some that still don't know because they just don't pay attention, but that's another thing. My closest family, they do, and they're proud of it, and I'm happy for that. So reach out to your people, tell them about your business, because they have friends and they know people that one day is like, oh, I need a cake. Oh, wait a minute, my sister or my cousin or my friend um, has a cake business. Let me give you her number. So there you go. Reach to your people because they can be your advocates. You have no idea. Third idea of taking actions: contribute and give. Hmm. Okay. In this one, you will say, well, what would I give if what I want is to gain things? The key of getting more is to give more. Yes, it sounds like, I don't know, a line out of a Hallmark movie or whatever. Yes, or a self-help book. And you will say, like, yeah, Christina, you're starting getting all woo woo. No, it's true. As much as you give, people will know what you do, first of all. People will trust you. People will yeah, trust you, know what you do. People will be aware of your talents, and they will say, well, she takes the time, or this person, he, she, whoever, takes the time to give, so I can give it back. Because that's how it works. People think it's like, well, if you take the time to give, I can give back. If you invest, I think, again, Anna Stishkina, but I don't know if it was her, it was with me. Um, when you invest on your, let's say, your baking career, people invest back on you. Why would I buy a course from you if you never taken a class from anybody else? People will wonder that. Believe me, people will wonder that. Or why would I work with you, or why would I trust what you do if I never see you, helping anybody or being in any like lab demos, or maybe even a YouTube channel that can, you can share your talent with me. So contribute and give, because believe me, it will come back multiplied by thousands. I'm telling you, it works. Another important thing is to network. In any business, networking is essential. And we will say, why would I need to network as a cake artist? You do. You do need to network. People are like, remember the example that I made about the Hollywood movie where people say, oh, you're Christina. You're the one that has the podcast. People recognize you in the streets. No, you have to tell people who you are. It's like, hi, I'm Christina. I have a podcast. I have the Cake Friends Stay Creative. I am the arcade coach. And the arcade experience is my YouTube channel and my webpage. And I do this and this and that. Otherwise, people will not know. I need to network. And network is not only present myself, it's getting to know other people. Is getting familiar with what they do. It's reaching out to the people that you know can help you. And I'm not saying this in a mean way that, oh, I'm going to get, be friends with the people who can put me in the right place. No, no, no. It's like really, because the next one that I'm going to, or one of the other take actions, is to collaborate with others. And you want to collaborate with people that mainly do the same as you do, or has the same goals or the same ideas as you do. So networking is an essential part of getting to know those people. I do a lot of networking through the groups on Facebook and through my social media. I did so much networking last, I don't know, 2 weekends ago, 3 weekends ago, on Cake International, getting to know people, what you do, where do you do it, how can we collaborate together? Because that is the way people grow, by helping each other, by knowing what others do and trying to work together. That's how you build a community. And at the end of the day, this is all about being known by the community. So, yeah, networking is important, and collaborate with other cake artists. You can collaborate in cake collaborations, of course. We have an episode about that here on the Art Cake Coach podcast. But you can collaborate with other artists, let's say in a project. If you have a friend who's doing a big project and maybe you can help that person, that can give you, the spotlight that maybe you wouldn't have if you don't collaborate. You can collaborate on groups, you can collaborate on YouTube videos, you can collaborate here on the podcast. I invite people to talk on my podcast because, first of all, I want my community to get to know them and to learn from them, but also their community is getting to know me and is learning from me. So it's a win-win situation. Collaboration is always a positive thing. Attend in-person events. In-person events are the ones that are going to help you network, and they're going to put a face in a name. I mentioned this in the episode of Cake International, how many, it was so good to put a face and a person behind an online profile and really, really get to know the person. And I'm sorry for the ones that I missed out, that I either didn't recognize or didn't have the time to meet. But it is good. Attend in-person events as much as you can. Let's say you are not confident to go into a Cake International or major cake event. Your community, I'm sure in your community you have, like, small events at schools, or let's say selling your goods at a park fair. Be there. People need to see you, and you need to see your people. People's going to buy you, your customers, your future clients, and people need to see who you are as well. So in-person events are very good to take action and to put yourself out there. And a volunteer, give for free. People need to know who you really are, what you can do, what you're capable of. Don't give everything for free. And I think, again, that could be another whole episode. Don't give everything for free. People in these past 2 years of the pandemic have got used to um, getting a lot for free, and I think that needs to change now. So, but volunteer, give for free. There is an event, let's say, with the firefighters who are collecting money for something. Offer some cookies or offer a cake, and people will thank you for that, and they will remember. It's like, oh, this person did this, it was so nice, so maybe I'll go in. And they will taste your goods, which is awesome. And the cake was good, and this person gave it for free. She volunteered, she helped, or he helped. And well, I have a birthday coming, I might call this person. So it's very important to give a little bit, not everything, but to give a little bit. So let's recap, what are the steps to take action? Referrals, reach out to your people, your family, your friends, contribute, give, network, attend in-person events, volunteer or give for free. People need to know who you are, and collaborate with other cake artists. Now, in order to do all of this, we need an extra. We need to get out of our comfort zone. This episode is packed with things. So, I'm also going to give you a few tips. Actually, I'm going to share with you something funny that I found online about a research of What is it for people that get out of their comfort zone and for people who do not get out of their comfort zone? So, we'll talk about this in a second. Okay, promise. This is the last thing I give you today to wrap up this episode. As I mentioned before, one of the things that you need to do in order to put yourself out there and really take action is to get out of your comfort zone. Yes, it is hard. And I found this in interesting information about a study take I don't know doing by who or where, but I just found the information that apparently only 2% of the population of this world actually gets out of their comfort zone, and the rest 98% lives in a very comfortable part of their brain that you get there, you live by, but you don't stand out from the rest. So the 98% of people who actually lives, this is not, I didn't make this up, I found this online. The 98% of people who lives in their comfort zone are usually have these characteristics. They just want to be like everyone else. That's it. Don't stir that water too much. Don't, I'm okay. Just let me just be like everyone. I'm not saying this is wrong, people. I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying that if you want to stand out, you need to take action and get out of that comfort zone. So, again, going back, 98% of the people who do live in their comfort zone feel that they just want to be like everyone else. They're probably insecure. They do as much as they can to survive and get by. They usually play it safe. They're well known for procrastinate. However, I think nowadays we all procrastinate a little bit. Sometimes they feel regret for things they haven't done, but they end up settling for whatever it happens. Yeah, a lot of us do live by, or a lot of us have been in that position before, because it doesn't mean like, oh, I am the 2% and I've never been in the other percentage. No, it's not true. I have been in this 98 percentage before, until I realized that I'm not getting anything out of this. And there is something in you that you just want to achieve something, you want to do something different, and then you move on to that 2% of the population. Now, what are the characteristics of the people who do get out of their comfort zone? And again, if you do want to use that talent and be consistent with the talent and take action to have success, you might have to pass to the 2% side, because if you're just settling, believe me, nothing's going to happen. So, that 2% of people who do get out of their comfort zone usually embraces the unknown. And I'm not saying it's going to be scary, it is scary, but you do embrace it. uh, Looks and embraced change. Change is seen as a positive thing and not as a negative thing. Acts in spite of fear. Like I said, we do feel fear. I'm fearful that every single project and every single thing that I do or start is either going to fail, it's going to be judged, or it's going to be misunderstood. Those are my fears. But does that mean I'm going to stop doing it? No, I'm going to keep doing it, because at the end of the day, let's say, if I am fearful that is not going to succeed, well, I learned my lesson. That was not my door. I'll go and knock on another door. If I am fearful that people is going to judge, what I'm putting out there is my truth, and it's something that I believe in. So you can judge as much as you want, because it's my opinion. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not forcing anyone to believe in something different. I'm not doing anything wrong. So you can judge as much as you want, because this is my truth. And I can always change it. So it's not fixed. So if it's not fixed, I'm not fear. I don't have that fear of being judged. And so I mentioned failure, I mentioned judgment, and I forgot the other one that I mentioned. So, any fear that comes out, you just have to think on the counterpart. So, if you're if your fear is it's going to fail, well, if it fails, you just start over. You keep having projects in your life. That's good. If you fear there's going to be judged, it's like, what is there to judge? Nothing, because I'm not saying, I'm not forcing anybody to do anything, and I'm just giving my opinion, and I'm not hurting anybody by my opinion. So judge as much as you want to. I'm just going to keep working. So you do act in spite of that fear, but the fear is in there. I'm not saying it's not. That 2% usually chooses happiness. I can resonate with that. Yes, I try every single day. I try to choose happiness. I'm not saying I don't feel down and I don't have my moments that I'm depressed. And I'm sure you can resonate with that. There are days, yes. But at the end of the day, you're like, no, I'm going to choose what makes me happy. And I'm going to choose not just what makes me happy, what brings happiness in general. You explore new things and learn. That is, yes. You usually, if you are a person who likes to get out of your comfort zone, you're always trying something new, and you want to learn from the things that are presented in front of you. And have to admit to all of you, my friends, I'm a very, let's say, I'm a person who likes, in many aspects, I do like my comfort zone. I do fear getting out of it. I do fear exploring new things. I get very nervous and anxious, but I end up doing it anyway because I want to learn. That's one of that's like the counterpart. Is if I fear, anxious, and scared of something new, well, I'm going to learn from it. And learning from me is important. So that's the counterpart of it. Uh, that 2% is usually confident or fakes it until it makes it. My lovely people, my lovely and sweet friends, believe me, sometimes it looks like I'm confident, but inside I'm so scared, but it's okay. I mean, you get used to it. So you fake it until you make it. You keep putting that brave face until that brave face becomes you. So you can be confident or you can look confident, and it works. And you go for your goals. You go for, actually, the it's funny because this information said you go for your dreams. I don't like to think about dreams. I like to think about goals, because dreams are wishes. Oh, I wish, this happened. When you have a goal, you have a set mind. It's like, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. So you go for your goals, you make them happen. So, are you ready to take action? Are you ready to, first of all, determine your superpower? Take, sit down and think, what am I good at? What is my superpower? I can shine through this. Anything, could be anything, could be decorating cookies, creating beautiful sugar paste flour, teaching, selling your cakes. There's people who's really good at selling, just selling. You can sell anything. So selling your cakes, your social media. Maybe I can, have a YouTube channel about cakes. What is your superpower? First of all, determine that. Second, be the driver, be consistent, very consistent. Take action and be the driver of your car, of your cake business car. Take the action through all of the things I mentioned before and get out of that comfort zone to make it happen. So, in my own opinion, my own humble opinion, talent versus consistency, or consistency versus talent, no, is actually a mix of both, and a mix of a lot of um, hard work, taking action, um, being brave, try to do it, and just keep doing it until. And the funny thing is, when you're so settled on what you want to do and you're so focused on that, you're actually start enjoying the ride and not just the goal, because you're so sure that you're going to get there that you start, like, imagine again, you're in that taxi, you're starting looking out of the window and saying, oh, look, there are trees and there's people. Look how beautiful the city is. So you start enjoying the ride. And that, my friends, that is the biggest giveaway I'm going to give you from this episode. Enjoy the ride, because you're going to get there and you're going to be like, okay, I'm here. I got it. I got my goal. So what's next? And you're going to figure it out that what really drives you is not getting to the goal, is the way, is the path, is the road. So that's the biggest takeaway I'm giving you in this episode. Yes, is a mixture of both, but above all, enjoy the ride. Enjoy everybody involved. Enjoy your learning experiences. Enjoy your ups and downs because that's what's going to make you grow as a person, as a cake artist, as a human being. So, my friends, this is what I have for you today on this episode. I really, really hope that you have enjoyed. And if by any chance you decide today, like, yes, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone, I'm going to be consistent, I'm going to determine my talent, and I'm going to take action. Remember, I'm here to help you. I not only give coaching sessions, individual coaching sessions to anyone who needs them, and I'm going to leave the link for that here on the episode. But also remember that I'm opening a private group on Facebook, one in Spanish and one in English, for only 20 hours a year, that we are going to work all of these things together, you and me, sitting down. We're going to work on this. We're going to set those goals and we're going to achieve those goals. And I'm going to be leaving the links for that here as well. And with that, I leave you as I always leave you, my sweet friends. Stay safe and stay creative. Love you all and hope that you are here with me next time. Bye bye.